What's up, guys? I've got my first team in the XL League this week. Great League is over, unfortunately, so we are heading to Ultra League Premier. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Couldn't be doing this without you guys, but yeah, let's get right into this gameplay video. So let's talk about the team over this first match and a little bit about Ultra League. So Ultra Premier, I believe, is the most expensive league in the game right now, besides Master League Open, which people don't really play, I don't think, yet. So this is the most expensive league. As a little bit of a protest, I'm not really going to be making any more XL Pokemon. I have made Talonflame XL for this league, and you've probably seen a lot of my Open Ultra League videos about that, but I can't afford to spend the Stardust on this league if I want to keep up in Great League and in Master League. So it is what it is. The team here: Shadow Snorlax, regular Swampert, and regular Galade. I know you guys are going to ask in the comments, so here it is. Shadow Snorlax can be regular Snorlax, Swampert can be Shadow Swampert, and Galade can be Shadow Galade. None of them are important. You can just build any of them. It shouldn't matter too much. There's like a couple matchups that flip one way or another with each of them, but at the end of the day, you're going to flip some the other way too. So it doesn't really matter too much. This team is a balanced team. It's not ABB. So you'll see that I'm staying in lead with Snorlax a lot, and either soft losing. My choice to spend a shield on the lead depends on if I think I can get a shield back or I put them in better farm range with licks. And I'll talk about that as we go through the leads. If you run into an incredibly bad lead, so for example, in this first game I was up against an Obstagoon, I actually did superpower and then switch. And you can see that I swapped to Galade, which is the second best counter to that Pokemon. So just switch into your second best counter. Don't switch into your best counter unless it's your only counter, and then you're probably hooped anyways. But you'll see most of these games I will be switching out, and then we'll take the energy and shield advantage on Swampert or Galade and just put that to the test in the back. And both these Pokemon are incredible with energy, so what can I say? Galarian Stunfisk lead. Let's play this out. So unlike Lick a Tongue, Snorlax is a fighting type move, so we're going to absorb this first move regardless of what it is. It's probably going to be an Earthquake. Nobody really baits versus Snorlax. And as soon as we get to 2 moves, we're going to get there about the same time as they get to an Earthquake Rock Slide. That's fine. Let the Rock Slide through, because now we're just going to try and win shield advantage here, which is also fine, but core shield is fine too. So we're going to grab that first shield. The second shield is going to put this G-Fisk in the red. So at this point, it makes it really tough for them to switch out. But because my Swampert is coming in, and they've already spent a shield, so I'm fine spending a shield here too. I am going to shield that up, and they're going to switch into their own Galade. And they've given up switch here, which means my Swampert is no longer locked into this matchup, losing matchup. Getting with my Galade instead. And unfortunately, my Galade probably has the worst IVs for winning CMP in the entire game. So I go for the extra sneak through instead of trying to hit Leaf Blade. And then I try and fast move deny to make sure I get to that second Leaf Blade, but unfortunately my fast move denial failed this time. So I wouldn't be able to get to that next Leaf Blade. They make a smart play, come back in with this G-Fisk, and I'm forced to Leaf Blade it down so I don't get farmed. And they're going to come out with Machamp. So Machamp in the 1 versus 0 shield obviously beats Swampert, but Swampert with, what is it, 7 Mud Shots definitely beats Machamp. This is my first game versus Machamp. I didn't know how much damage a Hydro Cannon would do. So in hindsight, I really should have just charged up to that Earthquake. So instead, we're going to... it's going to be a bit rough here, but Swampert prevails, and we're going to get to that Hydro Cannon anyways. But yeah, it would have been a much easier game if I just went for the EQ. And there's a lot of these scenarios happening in these games where I'm probably not throwing the right move because I'm not sure exactly how much a Hydro Cannon does in Ultra League. Some of these Pokemon, Machamp being one of them. Or an Earthquake in some cases as well. So we got a Crobat lead. Crobat's actually, this isn't just a meme anymore. Crobat's actually pretty good. So I expect to see more Crobat in the future. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the same fast move that its flying brother has. It's got Air Slash instead, not quite as strong, but either way, we're just going to stay in. Versus some of these Poison Fangers, I like to switch out, but I mean, I kind of would rather just take shield or switch here. It's fine for me. I don't really feel like I need to abuse them. In comes Empoleon. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be able to take down my Snorlax, and Empoleon with 2 shields is very scary for my backline as well. But I decided to come in with the Galade, even though their Empoleon does have a little bit of energy already. They charge up a little bit. and throw the Drill Peck. And I'm going to just charge up to what is a Leaf Blade in a close combat, or 2 Leaf Blades. They're gonna shield 1, and they're gonna have to take the other. Well, they don't have to, but I'm gonna switch to catch a Drill Peck on the Swampert because they did get to that waterfall after they snuck that through. And now we can see an Umbreon in the back. So this is a little bit of a tough situation. I have a little bit of an energy advantage on Swampert, but obviously a little bit of a health disadvantage. And after I fail the first Earthquake bait, no reason to go Earthquake anymore. We're just gonna go straight Hydro Cannon here. Yeah, these Foul Plays do a decent amount of damage, but they're also gonna be the least hard-hitting charge move there is. I do decide to shield this one. We're gonna throw a Hydro Cannon, and in my head, I should be able to win the race to the next Hydro Cannon as well. And actually, they switch, and I switch my Swampert out and have barely any health, but I do have the Hydro Cannon stored, so they know it's over as soon as that Umbreon comes out. So even though XL Pokemon, right, Swampert's good in Great League too. Like all these Pokemon that are good in Great League, they're going to be good in Ultra League. That's how it is in the XL meta. So Swampert's going to be good for sure. We have an Alolan Ninetales come in. I probably should have swapped faster to my Swampert, but I'm still learning matchups. So instead, I will tank whatever move they throw Body Slam and dip. Thought it could be Dazzling Gleam. I don't usually shield the Snorlax, but it is what it is. I've got that really good matchup against Jellicent with my Snorlax later as well, so not too big of a deal. Yeah, in this case, now they go for the Weather Ball. They're storing a lot of energy, so it's there is likely a Dazzling Gleam coming, but we can get to Hydro Cannon just as fast as they get to Weather Balls and really put some pressure on this Alolan Ninetales. Yeah, they double shield, and I don't really feel the need to double shield here. We'll eat the Dazzling Gleam, and like that didn't even do that much damage to Swampert. I wonder if that was undercharged. But at the same time, I do have Body Slam stored. It doesn't matter if they farm me down. I'm just going to take them out with Snorlax. And in comes Swampert. So this is a pretty good matchup. I thought they might try and catch my Leaf Blade, but it's Jellicent, right? So I was pretty okay with throwing my Leaf Blade into Jellicent. And yeah, an ABA team. And we're going to see a bunch of these in Ultra League Premier. A lot of team building doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But it is what it is. Here we have a Shadow Snorlax lead, the mirror right here. How do you like to play this Shadow Snorlax lead? I am gonna pretend that I'm superpower and switching, even though I'm playing a balanced team and they don't bite. So I'm actually just gonna stay in at this point. I can't really afford to switch out of this lead. I will shield their superpower, which gives me a pretty good advantage here. They're gonna swap into Kingdra. I'll throw the Body Slam, and then switch into Gallade. Throw the Body Slam because I thought I might actually get a shield due to it being a non-debuffed move. And obviously they get to that move way too fast. There's no way it's anything besides Noctizuka. We're going to no-shield that and throw this Leaf Blade, which they're not going to shield. So we're going to keep switch. In this case, this is actually a very scary situation for me because this Snorlax can lick all the way down without taking a move. And it can translate that into superpowers on my Snorlax. The goal here is to come in with the Swampert, absorb some of this energy, and we'll see what they're running in the back. Yeah, and it's a Gallade, so it's almost exactly the same team, except I'm running a Swampert and they're running a Kingdra. So they're almost running the six. It's a mix between the 6'4" Ninja team and my team, where they're running the Kingdra in the back, but you expect Kingdra, I think it's Clefable or something like that, whereas I'm running Swampert and Gallade. Well, it's a little bit of a mix between those two, but obviously with shields down, Gallade has the huge advantage here and is able to take down Snorlax, whereas when my Gallade was against Snorlax, shields were still up. So that's how matchups flip. Very well played by my opponent. Definitely did not expect that in the back. I thought I was versus a Clefable instead, so good subversion of my expectations. And here we are at 2603. Didn't expect to climb in Ultra League, to be honest. Did not expect that, but here we are. 2603. Let's see what the next lead is. We have Empoleon. This is a bit of a tricky one too. It's all about getting shields here. So we're just going to build up to superpowers. To 2 superpowers. They can throw their Hydro Cannon if they want. Doesn't KO. and you can still get to 2 superpowers before they get to theirs, their 2 moves. So I'm throwing on their 4th waterfall, and then I was going to throw on their 5th, but what ended up happening there is they just let it through, which is fine, and then they're going to let that body slam through too. So they only got 1 confusion worth of energy, and in this case, I almost feel comfortable no-shielding this as well, but I know by spending a shield, I can just I can get my Leaf Blade off here. The thing is, my Gallade will lose CMP to all other Gallades, so kind of important not to do that. Ooh, yeah, Shadow Flygon. So this is pretty spicy, but actually a pretty good pick, I think, too. That's running Dragon Tail. I grab the shield really quick for my Gallade, and then I have to make it to 2 Hydro Cannons here, because Hydro Cannon is not super effective against Flygon. It's neutral. So even if Flygon's a little bit squishy, I have to be able to take it out. A Dragon Claw's not going to be enough to take me out, I don't think. I shielded because I was expecting the Earth Power. And apparently they were right out that Earth Power too when the second Hydro Cannon rolls through, so very, very close game. But we're able to take that with by taking switch advantage there at the end. Be able to get my Gallade into theirs instead of my Swampert. Next game, we've got a Venusaur lead. So this one is a little bit better for Shadow Snorlax than regular Snorlax. The main reason being you win the 1 shield. You lose the 0 shield, obviously, because Venusaur wins CMP. And for some reason, I'm not getting moves through, and they're getting moves through. But that's okay. So they actually get to this move and switch out, catching on Typhlosion. That's completely fine with me. Switching out and locking yourself into this backline is pretty rough. I throw right away because I just want to beat this Typhlosion to a move. I probably could have farmed a couple more, but I wasn't sure if there's an invisible Incinerate. But we're going to take that Typhlosion down. There's no reason for Typhlosion to shield, especially if I'm that fast on the swap. And Venusaur comes in and forces me to throw Hydro Cannon at it, which they shield. And CMP tie, I'm not shielding Swampert at this point. We're instead going to come in with the Gallade, get a little bit of farm. I actually did not realize they had a full move already. I forgot they had switched out with it, otherwise I would have stayed in. In this case, I decided to throw the Leaf Blade and swap. It's a Shadow Gallade, so these confusions are dealing quite a bit of damage. I'm going to go into my own Snorlax, and a little bit of a risky move, but I did believe that I could farm down. I thought my Snorlax was a little bit healthier too, but this game is all about just orchestrating farm downs for your Pokemon and then getting these moves off, these very powerful charge moves off on other Pokemon. So, but honestly, a lot of times the team plays itself, right? You just stand on the lead and then you come in with whatever looks good. So Shadow Swampert lead. No idea on how this matchup works out either. Obviously not going to be shielding moves here from the Swampert. Yeah, those Hydro Cannons deal a lot. So that's going to be 2 Hydro Cannons and Snorlax is going to go down. I go for the 1 Body Slam, and then I think I shield because I don't think I can farm down from that range. I go for this next Body Slam and win switch. So because I won switch, in comes Shadow Machamp, but we have Gallade for this, so they switch into G-Fisk, and I got Swampert for this. So good thing we spent a shield to get switch advantage in this game. The other plan was just to force them to spend a shield, and then I can farm down with Gallade. And even if I had done that, they wouldn't have been able to do anything. They would have come in with the Stunfisk. I would have been able to force a shield close combat, switch to Swampert, and then their own the other Pokemon would have to come back in the Machamp. And it's not even that good against Swampert, so Gallade would be able to farm it down, throw another close combat at the G-Fisk. It'd just be the same story. Instead, this time I was pretty comfortable that I can make it to the Earthquake, so we're going to go up to that EQ. Even if they took me out, I do have that Gallade. But yeah, nothing from Shadow Machamp is going to hurt Gallade that much here. Cat hair on my face. But yeah, so we're able to win this game by winning switch in the lead as well. Yeah, so unlike the Manabuzz team, I am shielding a little bit more, but that's because I know the matchups, like there's some matchups where Snorlax wins in the 1 shield that doesn't in the 0. And vice versa. So just play to those matchups. If it doesn't work out the first time, try and find the new matchup. Another Galarian Stunfisk lead. They're going to throw right away, essentially. And I'm going to charge up to Super Power, but they're going to switch out. So in comes Shadow Granbull. And this is actually really bad for my backline. So it's a good thing that they they brought that in now. Because 2 Body Slam is going to take it out. Snorlax somehow has 1 switch against the Pokemon I didn't even start against. And now they're locked into this matchup for a little bit. I'm going to let them throw 1 move. I'm going to let it through. And I'm going to farm up for a little bit more while they're still locked. I should have farmed up for a little bit more while they're still locked. I'm going to throw this Hydro Cannon. And they're obviously going to switch as soon as they can. And in comes Venusaur. But Venusaur also does not like eating an Earthquake. And in this case, I'm going to come in with Snorlax, I believe. Because this Venusaur has quite a bit of farm. And force this Venusaur to throw a move so that my Gallade has a freer farm down, I guess. Because all my Gallade has to do is get to 2 close combats. And it's game over. And it's G-Fisk. So really, I just have to shield anything. I don't want no shielding because I thought it was a Rock Slide. But they actually went for the Earthquake. So they knew their win condition. They knew their win condition was that they go straight for the Earthquake, or that I go for the bait here. So they're actually going to no-shield this as well. I think that's actually very well played by them. Yeah, another case right there of just waiting for your opponent to react and make a mistake, right? Like I just stayed in the Snorlax versus G-Fisk lead, and they switched out and gave my Snorlax an opportunity to take out the Shadow Gramble. So we have an Escav lead. I'm actually going to swap to my Swampert here. And in comes Kingdra. I'm going to go for the bait, because it's before the Octazooka debuff. And they bite. And now we're going to go for the Earthquake. So, because they shielded, I know they're going for Octazooka, so I'm not going to shield. They get the attack drop. There's the coin flip right there. That's Two-Face deciding to kill my Swampert. And yeah, I couldn't get to this Hydro Cannon, but honestly, double debuffed Hydro Cannon, double resisted, doesn't really do too much. We're going to farm down with the Snorlax. Ugh. Decide not to shield here because he's locked in against the Escav anyways. The goal here is to get to that superpower versus this Escav and then switch out. These counters aren't going to do very much. So what I have to do is really thread the needle here. I have to save a shield for Escav because an aerial ace is going to deal a ton of damage to Gallade. But at the same time, I can't take too much damage here from the Swampert, or I'm going to get taken down. So 2 Leaf Blades are going to be enough to take out the Swampert, but at the same time, I want to spend these 2 shields right now. I have to let a Hydro Cannon through. I throw another Confusion because I need to get that much closer to Leaf Blade. And these counters, they hurt, but we're going to be able to get that close combat off. Probably only need the Leaf Blade at the end, but better to be safe than sorry. Throw that close combat and win the game. So Gallade able to carry it here. I believe we've actually won quite a few games in a row this set. Yep, that's a 5-0. So 5-0 takes me up to 2675. That's my peak rating so far. And yeah, let's see some losses. So this set's not all going to be losses, but we'll see a little bit more adversity here. Dragalge lead. So this one is a pretty neutral matchup we're staying in regardless. This thing runs Aqua Tail and Outrage, I believe. So they get to a move. They already shielded, which is good for me. And they Outrage, and I'm going to get to this Body Slam anyways. So Snorlax is going to be able to put on the hurt and grab shield advantage here. That's pretty good. I'm going to come in with the Gallade. These are super effective confusions, and I decide to shield this. Yeah, I really shouldn't have, because there was no way. I don't know the counts is the problem for some of these Ultra League Pokemon. Dragalge being one of them. So, yeah, shielding the Aqua Tail is a bit of a mistake, but obviously the G-Fisk in the back comes out, and in comes Jellicent, and with this shield advantage, Swampert actually beats Jellicent, so we'll see how it goes. Earthquake chunks. That's why you run Earthquake. And then Jellicent will throw a move, and even if it's Shadow Wall, doesn't KO. So I'm going to shield. It's in their best interest to get the Bubble Beam off as early as possible, so people likely bait first. I'm not going to fall for that. I'm tired of people baiting, so I'm not going to let that go at all. We're going to see Jellicent throw a Shadow Ball, which I do shield. At that point, I think I'm a bit too low, and then I'll farm up a little bit more, throw this Earthquake, and then farm up a little bit more again. No, I won't. Ooh, I should have went for the Earthquake again, but I'm debuffed, so 2 Hydro Cannons are going to have to be enough. I decided to swap into Gallade to force them to Earthquake my Gallade. Yeah, spend that energy, and then one Hydro Cannon will definitely be enough from this range for Swampert, and we're gonna be able to win this game as well. So, fancy Dragalge. Dragalge I think is actually gonna be pretty decent. Pretty decent Pokemon. Problem is it does require XLs. Very hard to build right now. But neutral matchup for Snorlax, and either, depending on how low they get, either Swampert or Gallade can benefit from that farm down, so it's a pretty good lead, I would say. Ferrothorn, this Pokemon's getting pretty common in Ultra League, isn't it? So, oh yeah, you'll notice in this set, now that I'm 2675 rating, almost every Pokemon is an XL. So, we're running this super, like, under-leveled team, right? No XLs into these guys. Look at this Ferrothorn. I'm just waiting until they hit me once, and then I will throw double superpower. They actually come in with Talonflame, and this is where it kind of all falls apart for me there. I really should have thrown the superpower, I think, to debuff myself so that this energy would take me out. And I learned something from chat, my stream chat, about Talonflame. So if they throw one flame charge, the next Brave Bird is still 3 incinerates, but the one after that is only 2. So I do lose the game. Spoilers because of that knowledge, but that's something that I feel like is a pretty important lesson for everyone to learn to play against Talonflame, because Talonflame is one of those Pokemon that you actually do need to know how to play against. So I correctly shielded Brave Bird, but unfortunately I'm 2 shields down. So it's an uphill battle for sure. I'm gonna throw the Leaf Blade at this Kingdra. I know they're probably just gonna go for the Outrage to finish me off. Right as I get to that Leaf Blade as well. And Swampert has some heavy lifting to do, so I need to come out of this with energy, because I currently think this Talonflame is 2 away from a move. So I'm trying my best to get as much energy out of this matchup as possible, but it turns out this Talonflame is only 1 away, because I did not realize the way that the counting for Brave Bird works the way it did. I've never really thrown a Flame Charge and a Brave Bird and then another Brave Bird in a matchup before, so very interesting and very good to know. Otherwise, I would have known that game was unwinnable from a little bit longer beforehand. Alright, we have a Swampert switch in. Didn't really know what to do here. I don't really have a great answer to Swampert. I could have just went into my Gallade earlier, but instead we're going to throw this Body Slam. Grab shield advantage, and then I'll go into my Gallade. If they didn't shield, I probably would have just stayed in. But in this case, I will shield a Hydro Cannon to match shields. And we're going to throw this Leaf Blade right away, because this Swampert's almost at another move too. I mean, Swampert's always almost at another move, let's get real. So Empoleon comes back in. We're going to go for the close combat. Ooh, this is tough. Do I shield? Do I not shield? Yeah, we're going to shield. And luckily, I don't get locked into that close combat. So I'm going to be able to... They know I'm at 2 Leaf Blades now, so I figured that they wouldn't think I would go for the close combat. They think I would just go for the bait. But instead, I am going to go for the Leaf Blade now. Most people don't do it in this order. They go for the Leaf Blade close combat. But it is what it is. I'm sending my Snorlax to kind of sacrifice it, take the energy so that my Swampert can come in and hopefully have a good matchup in the back. But the Venusaur. It is what it is. They deserve this win. Let them take me down. Yeah, that's a big Frenzy Plant right there. That's like a 400% damage Frenzy Plant. We have a Venusaur lead now. Once again, we win the 1 shield, so I might spend a shield on this. The last Venusaur didn't stay in, so we'll see. Yeah, Frenzy Plant this time. Yeah, it does a lot of damage, but so does Body Slam. And I was CMP tying, so we will see how this goes. In this case, no, I actually don't think I shield. This Venusaur gets really low, so it's within farm down range for Gallade, so I decided to let this go. Gallade, unfortunately, draws out the Talonflame right away. And this Talonflame, let's see what they do. They go for the Brave Bird, which I don't shield, because I know now that my Hydro Cannon will one-shot. In fact, I probably should have farmed up a little bit more, because I could have had a Hydro Cannon ready for this Venusaur to come back in and farm down my Swampert. We're still going to get to it, but it would have been nice to preserve the rest of that HP. And then in comes Drifblim, because being able to get off a Hydro Cannon against this Drifblim might have been the difference maker. Probably not, because Gallade versus Drifblim is incredibly frustrating and one-sided. So I'm sorry that I'm making you guys watch through this whole thing. They're just gonna shield the first Leaf Blade. I mean, this matchup isn't bad if this Drifblim is just trying to get out of it with a lot of energy. They don't want to KO you, but it's really bad if it's 2 shield at the end of the game. Because they actually are gonna let a Leaf Blade go through. Just so you can see how much damage a resisted lead. Yeah, and this is essentially BM. I'm BMing them by staying in. So some people BM by throwing Sludge Waves. I'm gonna BM by dragging this match out another 30 seconds now. I don't know the matchups yet. I'm just trying to get a little bit more experience with how much damage all these moves. I believe the last game of the video here, we got a Sirfetch'd lead, so not ideal. So we're gonna stay in. In hindsight, maybe I should have swapped to Swampert. Just because you can outpace the Sirfetch'd. It wins the 1 shield, but with any little bit of extra damage, Swampert can win it. Because yeah, I'm not even gonna get a shield out of this lead. And I'm gonna take a ton of damage on my next Pokemon coming in. Or if it's Swampert, I think it KOs. So I have to come in with the Gallade. And they have Switch as well, so not much farm for Gallade. This is like the worst possible scenario. Against Sirfetch'd lead, don't stay in, switch to Swampert, I would say. In comes Talonflame. And Swap's going to be met with Machamp, so this is going to be pretty tough. I'm going to have to really thread the needle with this one. I think Swampert wins the 2 shield. But at the same time, Swampert also then has to deal with the Talonflame in the back. But you can see that they let that 1 Hydro Cannon through. They throw the Cross Chop. If I can take them down in 5 Mud Shots, it should be good to go. And it looks like we're on pace, and we barely get there. So now the Talonflame comes in. I'm just mashing that button right away, even though I should have used proper timing. We're going to throw with proper timing this time. So 2 Mud Shots, and then a Hydro Cannon, and then throw 2 more Mud Shots, and then a Hydro Cannon. So if you're playing properly against Talonflame, it's much harder for this Talonflame player to play. If I was throwing at the wrong timing, they could have had 2 extra free Incinerates. That's a full another Flame Charge, and that's game over, right? So that last game, I had to be mechanics perfect to win. And we're gonna drop a little bit, but I mean, dropping a little bit happens to everyone, you know? Not too upset about it. Was getting to some disastrous queue times anyways. But anyways, this is my first take. Hopefully you guys enjoy some non-XL content. If I do make more videos in Ultra Premier or Ultra, they will be non-XL videos as well. Just because I know the frustration a lot of you guys are going through. A lot of the other content creators, they're grinders as well, right? So you watch them play all these Pokemon that you can't play. So hopefully I can appeal to those of you who are very Stardust poor like myself. I just don't have the ability to get the XLs that some of the and Stardust that some of these players are getting. So I know a lot of you guys, and especially those of you under level 40, are in my boat. And I like when I started making videos too, I was under level 40, so I feel your pain. It is tough competing sometimes in this game, especially when there's been an increase in amount of resources you do need to compete in all 3 leagues. So that's kind of why I've taken a step back and really just focus on Great League. It just made more sense to me. So sorry about that, guys. For those of you like Ultra League content, I'm still going to try and provide you with some. It's just going to be not very XL. You're not going to find the top tier teams here anymore. It's going to be teams that you can compete with on a budget, I guess. But obviously at this point in the season, 2675 is very easily legend. It's definitely, I would say it's definitely leaderboard at this point too. So this team can take you to the leaderboard with some proper piloting. Anyways, that's my little bit of an outro rant this time. Sorry about that. Take a look in the description for all of my socials. And as always, thanks for watching.